DNA Video Productions is a full-service video producer with a fleet of drones, 4K, and HD cameras, as well as a crew of video operators. We handle commercial and residential real estate videos, as well as events for promotional purposes. We create book trailers, both live-action and running stills, music videos, and website videos. We also film series shorts for online distribution and are currently involved in filming a political parody. We specialize in low-cost movie making. Call DNA Video Productions at 941-748-6865 or visit our website at www.dnavideoproductions.com. That's www.dnavideoproductions.com. Thank you. Our sponsor this month is Published, an affiliate of Village Voices. Published offers all author services from writing tips, critiques, manuscript evaluations, and editing, as well as tips to help you become published. If you prefer to self-publish, purchase the step-by-step book on publishing through Amazon, or purchase services a la carte, from formatting to creating custom covers, or even tips to gather endorsements. The staff is headed by 2 professional writers. After your books are published, either trade paper, electronically, or both, purchase marketing tips, web services, book trailers, or turn your book into an audiobook. Publish provides all your writing, publishing, and marketing needs. So give them a call at 941-748-6865. Contact them online at dgould497@aol.com or go to the website at www.publishedavillagevoices.webs.com. The intro you just heard was by Al Musitano, and today we are interviewing a producer, director of film here in Sarasota County, and her name is Sherrie McKinley. Hi, yes. Sherrie, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
That's great. I don't know a lot about your work. I've seen a few things that you've accomplished, and I did see you at the Skyway Film Festival where you were in Shark Tank.
Oh, yes.
That was amazing. I can't believe you didn't win. Your presentation was fantastic.
Well, they had already picked the winner, actually. The Shark Tank presentation was just kind of an exercise for the people who won, or who were finalists.
Those of us who, and for those in the audience to see how you guys did it.
I guess so.
Yeah, because that was a lesson, too, for the rest of us.
Exactly.
Now, how did you get started in film?
A friend of ours, so my husband, Austin McKinley, is a writer-director.
And very well known in the area, too.
And so I mostly work with him. A friend of ours came to Austin because he had written this little story and he wanted to make it into a film. And Austin looked at it, he thought, this is really doable. He turned it into a screenplay format.
And had Austin already been doing this for a while?
He had worked at Blab Studios when it was going on. That was like the local.
Right. I remember that.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
Years ago, but okay.
It's years ago, yeah. So he had some experience with TV production, but it was a little different because it wasn't scripted. So but he's a writer anyway, and his background is in comic books, which translate very well to
graphics.
Films.
Yeah.
So he saw the story that our friend had written, turned it into a screenplay format, and we collected the people and the materials and the location that we needed, and we made a 5-minute film.
A 5-minute film, and Where did it show?
It showed at the Sarasota Film Festival in 2008.
Now, is that the year that he, your husband Austin took all the prizes?
No, that was 2011. He entered a contest that was a television development contest, yes.
Pitch stuff.
And so you had to put together just the synopsis and the treatment for television shows, and he submitted 9 different projects, and 3 of them placed.
Yeah.
So yeah,
he like took everything. I was like, wow, he has to be really good because that was all blind, and he won all 3 categories. But he does also do documentaries.
Yes. Yeah.
How did those come about? Are you guys making a living doing this?
Not at all. This is like definitely hobby level, and I would say that I've seen film students work, so college age film students, and that is on par to the work that I think we're doing and other people in the area are doing. And basically it's what a lot of people can do without a budget is what it comes down to.
Low budget filming.
Yeah.
Now,
exactly.
I have to say, Carl Wilson somehow goes above and beyond
He
that.
does.
I don't know how he does it.
I don't know how he does it. It's amazing. The Wilsons are a fantastic team, and
Yes.
the work that they're putting out is nice.
I'm just blown away by some of his work. It's wow.
How did
he do that without any money?
I know.
I'm just wow. But I don't think they're making a living at it either. So how does one do you pick up other types of film work, or what do you do to support your love for film?
So Austin's career is all freelance, and my career is 9 to 5 graphic design. I work at an arts organization in town.
So you're still being creative during the day,
right.
But you're getting a regular paycheck from somebody else. So
Exactly.
that's helping support the family.
Exactly.
And he's doing freelance work.
And he does freelance work, so he does freelance video, writing, cartooning, comics, illustration. So he's doing also all creative work.
And freelance, thank God, lately has actually, the market has opened up phenomenally where you can get paid jobs for a decent amount of money if you have a good portfolio.
Right.
So it is improving tremendously from like even 10 years ago. Trying to become a freelancer 10 years ago, it was like, what? People didn't. You want to work from home? You want to do what? But so you're not making a living at it, but you incorporated it into your lives pretty drastically. I mean, guys,
it's definitely
how
our
many
hobby.
extra hours are you putting in a week?
That's a good
Because
question.
you're working 9 to 5, 40 hours a week.
Mm-hmm.
And then you come out to these once a month, but you're filming things during the week and doing budgeting and arranging and all that, right?
Right. That's a good question. I think it really depends, obviously,
Projects on the table.
projects on the table, exactly. So, when we were in the middle of our last movie, it was really, get home from work, look at, what needs to be done, what can I do this evening? And there's still plenty of time where it's like, you work on it for a little while and then you just have to watch TV because your brain needs to
relax and unwind, and you need to get other ideas.
Yeah. I mean, the brilliant part is that watching TV is homework,
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I want to be that when I grow up. So you're doing that. Where do you see the future? Because Austin's really phenomenal. Where do you see your future going? Do you think you might end up in Hollywood, or are you hoping to establish here and just go there for occasional work?
We would take it as it comes, for sure. I would love to see people who want to put a budget together to do some local film here. It could absolutely be done here. No question. It really lacks the budget to put it together. But I feel like I could put together a crew, a cast, everything, all local, if I had a budget to pay everyone.
Now, what about Kickstarter or the other crowdfunding things? Have you attempted that at all?
The kinds of budgets that film, you absolutely can do a Kickstarter, first of all, actually. And that is one way. A Kickstarter is not just, putting it up on the internet and hoping that
somebody will just, you have to be able to get
there's
out there.
There's a plan that, it's like there's things that you need to do before you even list your Kickstarter. There's the 30 days of your Kickstarter in which you need to be doing
every
single day, every single hours. And that is something that I haven't, is a time and place and just,
marketing is so time consuming.
Exactly.
And without it, you're budgetless.
Yeah. And you definitely, I think it helps tremendously if you have a team for your Kickstarter, so that you can have different people handling different things.
Yeah, they definitely suggest having a team and each person being responsible for different outlets. Like one might be Facebook, one might be LinkedIn, one might be, you know, regular emails or groups that are associated with whatever the basis, like with a documentary about animals. How would you, you know, which groups would you go and contact? That kind of thing. So yeah, it takes a team to, I think, win a Kickstarter.
Absolutely.
Then again, I've seen some Kickstarter programs that just blew me away. I don't know if you saw the Star Trek one.
Oh, I didn't see
that.
that.
For the new Star Trek, they're getting millions on Kickstarter to continue the series. They're finishing the rest of the 5 years.
But what's interesting with that, I find, is that the Hollywood studio system has become such that even the people within that system are having a hard time getting their stories out there. They just want to make movies. They want to tell their stories. They want to do their projects. And they're finding that the studio system is not letting them. So,
well, the studio only wants the blockbusters. They're not interested in messages. They're not interested in stories. And I think if we look at Europe, there's a lot of indie filming. But when you look at our country, we don't have the support system that Europe seems to have for supporting their budding artists. They have all kinds of ways to support people while they're doing these special projects.
That's interesting. And kind of like a patron?
Yeah, similar. They sponsor. There's grants and sponsorships galore for artists and filmmakers and all of that stuff, musicians. Here, it's
maybe not so much. Well, and you know, so my 9 to 5 is with an arts organization, and we do get, you know, National Endowment of the Arts grants, and we do get, you know, like state and local monies and everything like that. But you know, we also have a full-time grant writer.
And that's hard to do too, and it's not an easy job being a grant writer. So and you have to be pretty established and have dotted all your I's and crossed all your T's to get those kind of grants for the grant writing money. I mean, but we have so many stories to tell that don't have to be told on the big in the massive theaters where they're making billions.
Right.
It's enough for us if we can just make a living. I'm not looking to make millions. I think I would be uncomfortable if I was that rich.
When I think that's the thing, that the studio systems, what they're looking for as a business model is like something like a 300% profit. And, you know, like you're saying, some of us want to have a small business maybe.
I'll be happy with just a 25 or 30% profit on, you know, if I spend $10,000 and I make 10 for the time that I put in, I'm good with a few $1,000s.
Right.
So I'll do that every few months and we're
normal business.
I don't percentage be rich. I just want to pay the bills and be able to create for other people. Beautiful things or fun things, or you know, just put out this stuff. And So
well, and it's interesting
now,
too.
Have you done any acting?
Have I done any acting? Yes, a little bit.
Now, was that because you needed to fill in for something, or?
Well, so I did a little bit of acting in college. I had a blast. I really enjoyed doing it. So when it came for our very first film, our friend had actually, because he'd written the story, he's like, "Oh, you can be this, and Sherrie can be that, and I can be this, and it'll be great." So I mean, it was very, you know,
very low budget.
Very low budget. And I've been in a couple of things since. One of our projects and a couple of other people's projects, and it's fun. I enjoy acting. It's a fun hobby for me. It's less all-consuming than producing.
Yeah, producing you have to do it all.
You have to do it all, but acting you are giving your all right when you're giving it.
It's focused.
So it's very focused. Exactly.
Yeah, very focused.
So and you really cannot. I learned that I cannot produce and act in the same project. It's impossible.
And yet there are some big people that do that.
And that's huge.
Now, we have a really large community for the size of Sarasota-Bradenton area. Mm-hmm. We have a large film group,
Minnesota Films.
Well, this is just one little piece of, we've got Ringling College doing film now, and SCF, State College, is doing film, has film classes and degrees.
Yes.
They're doing degrees in film, and New College, I believe, also has some, and so does South Florida.
Yeah.
So it's like with 4 colleges in the area also putting out producers, and we're only couple hours from Orlando, where there's even more colleges putting out film producers and directors, and we have all this talent in the area, plus the actors and actresses.
Right.
How many theaters we have, live theaters in the area, just immense amount of talent that we've got conglomerated right here in this little area.
And it feels like it's been, you know, like kind of circling in on something for the longest time.
Yeah.
And, you know.
So you feel it too. It's like there is something really special about this area.
And I don't know what it's going to be, the straw that breaks the camel's back, and finally it's like we have,
explode into
something
the scene.
We're having
it
a
feels
lot of
like we're
projects
getting
here.
there, though. It really does. So do you see someday being able to quit the 9-to-5 while you become a bigger producer of maybe low budget $100,000 to $300,000 films?
I would take that opportunity if it came about. I have yet to have that opportunity, so we'll see how it goes. You know, we would take an opportunity from LA if it presented, but again, that's, you know.
Well, Austin's talent that very well could present.
Sure. We hope so.
He is absolutely amazing. And I don't want to just put it all off on him, though, because you've been supporting his work, but he's also been supporting yours. And you blew us away at the Shark Tank thing, and that was your presentation of his...
Yes, so what happened was, it was his project that got to be a finalist. And
now, what was that project?
Don Quixote, but it was called Quixotic. Sorry, it's a
Quixotic.
Modern retelling of Don Quixote. I'm a little out of practice with my Shark Tank presentation.
And you weren't expecting this.
I wasn't, sorry. So it's a modern retelling of Don Quixote, and he became a finalist, and then they told him about the Shark Tank thing. Well, he was already planning to go, so the weekend that the Skyway Film Festival, the last day, he wasn't going to be available because he was in LA shooting the documentary that he's currently working on. So he asked if I could fill in for him at the Shark Tank, and they said, "Oh yeah, sure." And so I was like, "Oh my gosh, I don't actually know your story as well as."
You mean you didn't write it and produce it?
We hadn't produced anything. It was just written.
It was the script for. Oh,
it was
that's
just a
right.
script.
It was just the pitch.
Right, exactly. So he sort of coached me through it. I've seen him pitch before, and so I had him
pitch in Hollywood or him pitching here.
Both.
Wow.
So I had seen him do it. I liked the way he did it, and I got him to do it a couple times, how he would do it if he were there for the Shark Tank. And then I had to just kind of remember, so I had to make myself some notes and write them down, and I practiced.
You
practiced.
did fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. You were by far the most knowledgeable about what you were pitching. And it showed.
Awesome.
It was like right there. It was, had that been the only thing they judged it on, I think you would have won, because the other girl who did win, her story was really convoluted, and she wandered and roamed all over the map.
She was really great, though. Lilu is her name, and she was. I met her that weekend for the first time, and she was great. We're, Facebook friends now.
Right.
But
she wasn't good at getting the point across to the audience as to what the film was about, except sometime in the past in Australia. I'm like, that's not going to be an easy one to film here. Skyway Film Festival, I don't think Australia's in the budget.
Oh, well, she deserved everything that she got
for the
the
story itself. But
yeah.
I like your Don Quixote too. That was really good. So, what projects do you have coming up this year that you're taking on?
That is a good question. Right now, Austin is working on this documentary, and that is really chewing up a lot of his time. And because of the nature of a documentary, it's not something that is as planned as a fiction. Because with a fiction, you
have your script.
You have your script. You have everything laid out for you, and you just have to find the locations, find the people, find the etc.
Right.
With the documentary, the story is shaping as you go, and sometimes you'll go to shoot something and get an interview, and it doesn't turn out the way you thought, and so now you're constantly shaping the story. So this one is probably going to take up the rest of the year.
Wow. What is it on?
This is the 8-Bit Heroes, the new 8-Bit Heroes.
Oh, okay. I think we saw something about going to California to pitch that.
No, we're not pitching it. No. Joe Granato is making a new NES game for the Nintendo.
Right. Okay, I did see something about that. It was like a little film that was a teaser or something.
We showed it here in Minnesota.
The Sizzler. Yeah, that's what they call it. So that is going ahead and being made. Now, is he actually making that game?
Yes, Joe is making the game, and there's lots of artists that are helping, and so Austin is doing some concept art and also helping to film. They're doing the game and then a documentary about making the game as well. And they did run a successful Kickstarter for that.
They went to L.A. They paid for all
They did go to L.A. It wasn't a pitch. It was they were on an episode of The Goldbergs, which takes place. It's a sitcom that takes place in the same era that the NES was first being played. So,
but you guys got some money from Kickstarter or one of those programs, and it was fully funded.
Correct.
To go to LA and start that little Sizzler.
Correct.
Cool.
Yes, and they got interviews with all kinds of people. The guy from the Goldbergs, I can't think of his first name.
I remember seeing it in the Sizzler. That was very, very cool.
They interviewed Piers Anthony, who is a science fiction author.
I know him.
Okay, yeah. And they're getting a ton of interviews, and they're traveling to different places.
Now, Piers is from right here in Florida. Did they go all the way to California to interview him, or did they interview him here? Okay. Yeah. Like, wait a minute. He's not that far away.
Yeah, no. We went to his house. I actually got to go along on that trip, and it was fun.
Okay, and so what are you doing now that he's all occupied with the documentary?
So I'm kind of relaxing right now, to be honest.
Just working your 9 to 5 and taking care of the home front while he does the other stuff. Okay.
We're kind of waiting for this project to wrap up because it's a little loose cannon. Because it's like, oh, well, we're shooting tonight, we're going to do interviews.
Is this going to go to a film festival, or do you have actual plans for putting it into theaters? I know some of the independent, how long is it going to be? Will it be long enough for showing at regular theaters?
Well, yeah, film festivals will have, feature-length films as well, and so I would like it to go there for sure. I would like for it to go into theaters. I would like for it to go on to Netflix. I would like, and again, because you're sort of forming the story even as you're filming it, you kind of have to shoot as much as you can, get an idea for the story that you're going to tell, and then in the editing room, it's all going to come together.
Yes.
So you kind of don't even know what you have
until you're all done.
Yeah.
Now, you've got so many other talents that can be used to create your own things and become, while he's off doing the documentary, you could be doing little shorts for YouTube, Amazon.
Sure, and I'm helping some of our other film friends, with their projects too, just little here and there.
Internet.
Okay.
That's what a new outlet, and with Netflix getting into making original movies now and series, and they're picking up shorts all over the place. And I heard Amazon is now into the game. They're doing producing, and there's like a whole slew of huge names. Google, I think, is actually talking about starting to produce movies. With them doing that, and they're not doing the Hollywood blockbuster, they're doing the internet blockbusters, the virals, that kind of an idea. Do you think that we are like on the cusp of just finding a way to make money, good money, without becoming the Hollywood blockbuster thing? Have you looked at any of that?
I have looked at, here's what I know about getting onto things like Netflix and Amazon and Hulu, is that you still need to find content aggregators. So basically you submit your film to a company that is taking all the submissions everywhere, and then those aggregators are going to somewhere like Netflix.
Is that how Orange is the New Black got there?
I don't know that.
I'm just curious because I see that there's these new series, and it's like, and they get a whole following.
Well, I've heard an interview with Kevin Spacey talk about, they shopped House of Cards to all the production, all the
big blockbuster people, and they weren't getting anywhere.
Yeah, and they didn't want to do that, and Netflix picked them up, and so they were very happy to be on Netflix. So it's a lot of the productions they're doing TV shows. They're shopping them around to all the networks, and Netflix is just another network, basically.
And Amazon's got one now, too.
Amazon's got one now,
Hulu, and there's just a slew of them just cropping up. And it's like, with all those outlets, I think it opens up more opportunities for those of us who are really interested in the industry. It's not just a, I'm going to be a blockbuster.
Right.
I mean, I think we're all smart enough to know those chances are more than like 1 in a billion that we'll ever go there, but that we can still share our visions with other people and get them excited. So, I would love to see more of your work, and I'd see you in more movies.
Well, I'd love to be in more. Acting is always fun. I do love producing, though. It's a lot of planning. It's a lot of party planning. Basically, if you are a good party planner and you can
event planning,
you can.
Oddly enough, I've got that in my background.
There you go.
That's how I ended up
there.
There
you go. But it's a lot of dotting I's and crossing T's and make sure you have all your ducks in a row, and then knowing what to do when all the ducks waddle off and crap everywhere.
And how to clean it all up afterwards.
Exactly.
So, where can people, if they've got a script? Granted, Austin's already a scriptwriter, but if they've got a script and they want to talk to you about making their movie, you would be willing to do that as long as they are funding it, right? So if somebody's got this...
It would really depend, actually, because the thing is that Austin, in my case, Austin has a ton of scripts himself.
I know writers are like that. We don't want to be writing other people's stuff.
Exactly, and so. It would really just depend. I think that if you have a script and you want feedback on your script, there's lots of writers in the area. There's a screenwriters circle that can give feedback on that.
Right.
If you're looking to make it and you want to, I wouldn't even, honestly, if a screenwriter came to me and said, I have X amount of dollars and I want to make this, I would say, don't put all your eggs in one basket. I would want you to get other people who are interested, and rather than have one person put together a team of wouldn't it be better to have 10 people doing 10% of the budget rather than one person doing 100% of the budget?
Yeah.
And that way that 10 people can put their money where their mouth is.
And if even one falls out, you can get them replaced much easier than if you fall out and you have nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a great way to look at it.
And plus, because it's like a vanity project. If one person who wrote it is then going to fund it, but if they are able to find other people that are interested enough to see that project come to life, then it has some legs. It's not just one person's fantasy of what makes a good movie.
But Mom liked it.
Exactly. So, that would be my preference.
A team.
Yeah.
Now, do you have a website or something like that where people could...
Flying Car Pictures.
FlyingCarPictures.com?
Yes.
Okay, so they can find you or Austin at FlyingCarPictures?
Correct.com. Yes.
Thank you so much for being on Culture Coast this way.
Thank you so much for having me.
Take care.
Nightmares. Frightful visions during the night, causing terror and loss of sleep. Daymares. Frightful visions during the day, causing fear and paranoia. Gothmares. Gothic visions that can happen anytime, causing horror and disgust. But sometimes they offer answers. Read Gothmares if you dare. Gothmares, a young adult novel by Al Musitano, available on Amazon and fine bookstores everywhere.
Village of the Arts, the largest artist colony in the state of Florida, located on 42 acres, includes artists, homes, galleries, gardens, and restaurants featuring handcrafted gifts, fine art sculptures, painting, photography, enviro art, healing arts, books, mystics, and musical variety. A few of the galleries are unique in their offerings. Village Voices specializes in books and art created exclusively by Florida residents. The Dancing Crane Gallery offers fine art, custom jewelry, and unique, innovative art. The Village Mystic offers all things metaphysical: meditation, massage, mediums, aromatherapy, psychics, shamans, Reiki healing, and the gem mine, where you can mine for your own personal treasure. Yoga Arts offers classes or one-on-one coaching. Musicians and bands can be found throughout the area. Many of the artists and musicians offer classes. Restaurants and bakeries provide respite for the weary and magic for the foodies. Visit during the first Friday Art Walk and stroll through the shops and galleries enjoying free appetizers, wine, music, and demonstrations. For hours and information, please visit the website at www.villageofthearts.com.